Hello again, I am Blunty, and I'm resentful of having to record this video because I'm trying to get ready for a stream day. I've got an invite for the Dune Awakening beta, which I'm excited to check out. That's what I'm going to be doing today. And I'm prepping for it right now, a couple of hours before I go live. And now I've got to make this video because, well, someone has to just correct this misinformation that's being spread about, just like I did the other day when I was correcting a bunch of idiotic misinformation just vomited out by people desperate to invent imaginary controversies around the Nintendo Switch 2, because controversies and making people angry about stuff is a really good way to get clicks online. And Eurogamer, who, surprise, surprise, about a year ago was purchased by IGN, which of course is why, if you've noticed IGN rapidly devolving into clickbait garbage over the last fistful of months, that's why. And another example of it today. I'm going to read you here a thing I saw in the blue skies. I was scrolling through my feed. Nintendo reserves the right to brick your console. Brick your console. Make your console inoperable. This expensive new device you just bought. Nintendo are going to remotely disable it and you can't use it ever again. Isn't it outrageous? If you use it for unauthorized use, such as piracy, for example. Isn't that outrageous? Isn't that shocking? And there's a bunch of comments underneath that being outraged and baited by this, and people screaming about it and say, well, they're not going to get away with this. The European Union are going to step in like they did with the right for repair and the replaceable battery, stuff they're doing and standardizing on USB-C and all that sort of stuff. They're not going to get away with this. They already have. I responded to this in both a repost and a comment on this post to try and help prevent the spread of this particular misinformation, which I can see is just going to scream across everywhere. But it's imaginary. I mean, it's not imaginary. It's in the terms of service, but it being a new thing that is going to desperately affect people, it's imaginary. Because Nintendo have been doing this for 20 years. Probably slightly more, actually, now I think about it. Every single console they've had with an online component, like the Wii, for example, from 2006, contains wording in its terms of use, terms of service, privacy agreement, whatever, that describes exactly this kind of legal right for them to reach out and disable various things. I'm going to read the Wii one specifically for you here from the terms of use. Chapter 2, unauthorized software, services or devices and unlicensed accessories. Your Wii console and the Wii Network service are not designed for use with unauthorized software, services or devices and unlicensed accessories, and you may not use any of these with your Wii console or the Wii Network service. Such use may be illegal, voids any warranty, and is a breach of this agreement. Such use may also lead to injury for you or others, or cause performance issues for damage on your Wii console. I love that scary wording, by the way. You might die if you use unauthorized accessories with your Wii. It might explode and take your entire hand off. We and our licensees and distributors are not responsible for damage or loss caused by unauthorized software, services or devices, non-licensed accessories. We may take steps to disable or delete any unauthorized software, services or devices installed in your Wii console. So they're just going to remotely disable unauthorized accessories and stuff, apparently. For example, by detecting and disabling them through the Wii Network service and or game software. If we detect unauthorized software, services or devices, your access to the Wii Network service may be disabled and/or the Wii console or games may be made unplayable. In other words, they reserve the legal right to brick your Wii console and every other console for the released since, because you will find this exact same or similar language in all of the terms of service for all of their consoles since then. I haven't checked for the portable ones, but it's probably in there too, because the DS, the DSi, the 3DS, all the way through probably contain this language too, because they have, an online component to them allowing Nintendo access to do this. And it's not like this has been lying in secret for years either, that people haven't noticed it until they're trawling through the Switch 2 terms of service after that fake controversy about the game chat that I utterly debunked earlier this week. No, it's a long-standing thing that anybody who has tinkered with these things knows about. Ask anyone with a modded Switch amongst their collection, like yours truly. There are certain firmwares you have to avoid to mod your Switch in the first place, and you don't take it online when you boot into the modded mode, because you will get your account banned. I don't recall off the top of my head whether there's any stories of anyone actually having the system itself bricked, at least permanently, by doing this, but I do know there are a lot of people out there with banned accounts, because if you go on, say, the Switch 2 subreddit, for instance, you'll find people saying, "Oh, look, my account was banned on the original Nintendo Switch. Is that going to be okay if I move that account across to the Switch 2? No, idiot. No, it's not. Your account was banned. I mean, every console modder knows this. Even if you're new to console modding, you will go and you look at a guide, and in that guide it will say, "Don't go online, idiots. It will be detected, and you risk having a ban." So, Eurogamer/IGN Entertainment, screw you for trying to invent these fake controversies just for the sake of clicks. But also, hooray for you, because you invent these fake controversies to get clicks, I get to make videos like this to debunk your fake shit and get some clicks myself. So, And these terms of service are just like the chat stuff we talked about. It will almost never be used, but the point of having it there is so Nintendo have a path, an opportunity to cover their legal butts if something goes horribly wrong or disastrous in some way. They have this avenue sitting there for them to go point at and go, "Oh, well, that's how we can address this particular issue that is affecting our business," or whatever, because it is a business. And they have a legal responsibility to, like, their, the investors, shareholders or whatever, to protect that business. And that's what this stuff sits there for. You know what you have to do to avoid having your Switch 2 console bricked remotely? Yeah, don't mess with it. Or, if you do mess with it, don't take it online, as all modders already know. Because if you don't take it online, they can't detect that it's modded, and then they can't brick it remotely. Which, again, I can't think of any examples off the top of my head of that ever happening. I know accounts get banned for that. Again, I mentioned that before. Absolutely, you run the risk of getting your account banned. And if that happens, you won't be allowed online again. And possibly, again, you might lose access to your library of games, your digital games, perhaps, if your account is just nuked. I don't think they go that far. If anyone has had their account banned like this, let me know. Because I don't think I know anyone personally who's had that, because everybody I know who mods consoles is smart enough not to take them online. So, calm down. Don't freak out. This isn't some new step by Nintendo that's going to, brick thousands of consoles on a whim. That's not in Nintendo's interest. They don't want a whole bunch of people really angry at them all over the place. This is just them protecting their asses if something goes horribly wrong and, an exploit or something is discovered that allows people to really easily hack these things and pirate games and stuff like that. They legally are required and are responsible for trying to protect themselves from that and protect the publishers on their system from that. Because if you don't take action against, things like modding the console, enabling piracy, stuff like that, and yes, I know that's not the only reason to mod your console. Come on. Let's be fair. Most people who mod their console do play pirated games. I can honestly say on my modded Switch, I never have. I modded my Switch to rip my own cartridges because I wanted to screw around with modding of those games. And I've got a couple of videos up about that. There's one about the modding one of the Pokemon games. Sword and Shield, I think? Yeah, where I put different costumes on my character and stuff and tried to fix the textures on the trees with different mods. That kind of stuff. I never felt a need to use piracy for it, and I haven't pirated a game since I was like 17. But there are some interesting legally grey areas that are passed through to hardware modding. Like I said, modding your own console games to do interesting and fun things, but just don't take them online, and it's not a problem. It's so simple. And as for them bricking unauthorized accessories, again, I can't think of a single instance off the top of my head where that ever has happened. If you know different, it sounds like an interesting story. Let me know in the down below. But yeah, this is just boilerplate stuff. And again, I'm in a bit of a rush this morning. I'm trying to prepare for a stream, so I haven't, done the same kind of diligence that I did with the chat-related terms of service stuff we did the other day. But I bet you a gajillion dollars that you will find the same language in Xbox and PlayStation terms of service as well. Something similar to it, because similar things happen. It's so stupid. This is all so stupid. So stupid. And everyone who's getting angry at this is stupid. Stop it. Be smarter. Be better. Think, then do. It's one of my personal mantras. Think, then do. I don't always follow it, especially while gaming, which you might see today if you come to the stream. But think, then do. Learn by doing. Kind of competing ideas there, but that's how my brain works. Learn by doing, think before doing. Thanks for watching. I'm Blighty. I'll catch you next time. Don't take your modded consoles online, morons. There won't be a problem. It's so easy to avoid this. Thanks to the patrons. Almost forgot. Jeez. I'm Blighty. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.